Hey, and welcome to Trains Are Fun. In this video, we're going to do some Q&A. That's question and answer. I am a little bit sick. The whole family's got the flu, so we haven't been able to do much. But anyway, I thought I would take some time to respond to some questions. I put a post on my community tab on YouTube, and we've already got a bunch of questions. So we're going to get right to answering your questions. I guess I really could be answering anything, and I might do more videos like this in the future. But first question is from Mitaja Plays. How many trains do you have? I actually don't know the answer to that. I know we got close to 2,000 Thomas the Tank Engine trains. That includes the locomotives and cars. I have several hundred HO scale trains, locomotives, and cars. I have Lionel trains, locomotives and cars. Most of those are Thomas and Friends. We also have over 200 different Lego trains, and not to mention the N scale, the G scale. Yeah, there's a lot, several thousand. So the next logical question from Thomas Fun 03 is, how do you keep so many trains in your place? Oh, it's not easy. In fact, it's quite a mess. On top of that, I have the Lego collection and the comic book collection. So it's a little bit disorganized right now. I am working on resolving that. Just need to have a better way of storing it with shelves and things. And I would like to make a bigger layout than the little 4x8 HO scale layout, and where I can keep more trains on display and running without having to put them back in a box. But right now, everything is pretty much just stored in boxes under the tables or in the back of the basement. So it's a lot of storage, just a lot of things in boxes. Very uninteresting. So FNAF Madness Photo Shoot asks, can you do a collection of all your trains and cars? And that is pretty much impossible right now. I mean, it would be awesome to do that. It would just, I'd have to take things out of the boxes. So, but who knows, maybe in the future that's something we can do. And that's why when we do the collection videos, we usually focus on either one character or one type of train, things like that, because in order to do those videos, I have to take everything out of the boxes, and that takes a lot of time to do that. But who knows, maybe one day that is something we could do. It'd be a really long video. So the next question is from BGM Reviews. How did you start collecting Thomas merchandise? Very good question, and this actually started years ago. Actually, even before I had children, I liked watching the Ringo Starr episodes of Thomas and Friends with the real model trains. I really don't like the CGI stuff. I just like the real model trains. So I'd actually, before my son was old enough to enjoy Thomas, I'd actually bought an HO scale version of Thomas the Tank Engine. And then when my son was growing up, when he was a toddler and up, he just really loved trains, and he really got into Thomas. And so we got a lot of the old Tommy trains, which turned into Trackmaster, and some Taken Play style trains. I'm not sure if that's what it was called then, but yeah, that's how it got started. And I had also, because I was a Lego collector, I also had gotten all the Thomas and Friends Lego trains when those came out in around 2007, but pretty much around 1999, 2000, that's when I started getting Thomas and Friends stuff. So the next question is from I Really Like Trains. Hey, so do I. He asks, have you ever seen clips from the Thomas Big Friends Big World Adventures? If so, what are your thoughts? Well, I have not. So I had a lot of the recent stuff I have not seen. I did not like the sing-songy style of recent Thomas and Friends movies. I just like the old real model train style of the Thomas and Friends. So no, I've not seen it, and I don't have any real thoughts on it other than I'm not a big fan of CGI. Actually, I'm not a fan at all of CGI. I don't like CGI. All right, so Trenton Lightning Hammer, would you purchase one of the custom Lego trains, Thomas the Tank Engines, from a Facebook group? Actually, no. I'm not interested in purchasing somebody else's mock, but I am interested in making my own. So I definitely want to build a Lego Thomas the Tank Engine, not the Duplo. I'm talking about build one out of actual Lego bricks, and so that's something I have planned to do for a while. I just hadn't got around to actually doing it, but I'm not interested in purchasing somebody else's creation. But it's a good thought, and it is definitely something that I want to make for myself, just not buy from somebody else. All right, so Joseph Lee asked, Chuggington or Thomas, and Takeyoshi or Bandai Namco? Well, I answered the second one first. I will prefer the Bandai Namco over the Takeyoshi. I think I got more of the Bandai than the other. And as far as Chuggington versus Thomas, is that really even a comparison? I mean, I don't know how most of you, actually I do know how most of you feel, because every time I post a Chuggington video, I get a lot of hate. The only thing about Chuggington, and this is coming from the perspective of a YouTuber, not a train fan and not a particular fan of Chuggington or Thomas, it's just when I make videos that feature Chuggington, they do better than my videos that feature Thomas. That is odd to me, because to me Thomas is so much better than Chuggington. So I don't understand why that happens, but some of the best videos I do or I have made that have been, you know, there are a lot of people watch them and share them, is the ones that have Chuggington. Maybe it's because people are like, can you believe this? This guy's showing Chuggington on his channel. What's wrong with him? I don't know. So y'all tell me what you think in the comments below. What do you think of Chuggington versus Thomas? I mean, I already know what most of you are going to say. It's Thomas all the way. And a lot of people feel that Chuggington copied Thomas the Tank Engine. I don't think Thomas is the original anthropomorphic train. I think there were some before Thomas, but yeah, Thomas is better. Jonathan Gonzalez asked some really good question. Hornby or Bachmann, which do you think made the best wooden railway? I should get the jet engine from the Play Rail theme, and which is your first Thomas? Well, we'll take the last question first again. What was my first Thomas? It was the HO scale Bachmann set with Annie and Clarabelle, just the circle, not the deluxe set. That was our first Thomas and Friends purchase, and I should get that Play Rail jet engine. I just don't know if I got it already. There's so many. I got so many, I can't keep up with what I got. I'm pretty sure I got a jet engine, but I think it's a wooden railway. One version of that. And then as far as the best wooden railway, I mean, Fisher-Price did all right with the wooden railway series, but I guess I will have to go with Learning Curve as the best one. And then as far as Hornby versus Bachmann, ooh, well, since I live in the U.S., I'm always more partial to the Bachmann just because it runs better on my Bachmann track and my Atlas track. The Hornby, it's actually a different scale, so the wheels don't work really well, especially on the crossings and switches for my HO scale track. But there are some really good locomotives. I mean, I love Stepney, Murdoch especially, the Flying Scotsman, which we don't have a Bachmann version. We don't have a Bachmann Dart. And so there's a lot of characters that Hornby made. But Hornby, I don't like the way Thomas looks. I don't like the way Percy looks compared to the Bachmann versions. And everybody hates Hornby Emily. Although in itself is a beautiful locomotive, the Hornby version is not true to the show or the book or whatever you want to say. And so I think Bachmann does better with that as far as being a little more accurate, and they just run better on my track. But I collect both of them, and I usually get every different version of them I can get. I do like the metallic Hornby Thomas, the special one. That one is sharp with the paint scheme, but I like the Celebration Thomas better that Bachmann made. So y'all tell me in the comments below, which do you prefer, Hornby or Bachmann? And again, I think it just depends a lot of times where you live. If you live over in the UK, you're probably going to like Hornby better. Bachmann's probably going to be a little harder to come by, but it's, you know, personal preference really with that. But tell me in the comments below, what do you think? All right, so thank you so much for the ones that submitted questions. I just took the first ones. There may be people, as I'm speaking now, making this video, leaving more questions. Perhaps we can do another video. in the future. So it shows the the ones that got featured in this video were those ones that were quick to respond to that post on the community tab on YouTube. So thank you for doing that. And so tell me what you think of some of the topics that were mentioned here, and I would like to do another Q&A in the future. Sorry for my voice sounding the way it is. I am very sick, and so is the rest of my family, except for they might be Bricks there. He's the only one that's not sick right now, and hopefully he will not get sick. So we had to do a little bit different style of a video than what we've done before. All the clips have just been things from previous videos, either here on Trains Are Fun or Bricks Are Toys, or there might even been some from Bricks Are, but I'm going to do more with the Lego trains, the slot cars. We'll do more of that with the Bricks Are Toys channel, so be sure, if you're not already subscribed to that, go ahead and subscribe to Bricks Are Toys, and also Bricks Are. That's where we do all the Lego. That's pretty much where I got my start on YouTube as far as getting real regular, was doing the Lego content. But I've always loved trains. In fact, the first videos I did ever on YouTube, which were on Bricks Are Toys, were train videos. So we'll be doing more. Love trains. Hope you love trains, and see you in the next video. Bye.